Do you have questions you wish you could ask God? I think we all do from time to time. You might be surprised by some of the questions that Habakkuk asked God. How long, O Lord, will I call for help, and you will not hear? I cry out to you violence, yet you do not save. Why do you make me see iniquity and cause me to look on wickedness? Yes, destruction and violence are before me. Strife exists, and contention arises. Now, God does not always explain to us his plans for the future and what they are. And we are never in a position to demand that God do something. He is Lord, and we are his servants. And yet, there is a boldness that we are invited to seek God with, according to Hebrews 4:6. And I think that boldness is exemplified here by Habakkuk. In short, Habakkuk's questions to God are not said with a whining tone or anything like a rant against God. Habakkuk saw a sin-filled, dying world, and it broke his heart. In verse 5, God begins to answer some of these questions that Habakkuk gives him. And as Habakkuk is about to find out that not all of the questions that we ask God come answered in a neat package tied with a bow on top. God's answers, as they so often do even still today, surprise Habakkuk. And in chapter 1, verse 12, we find the record of Habakkuk wrestling with God's answers. Here's what makes this story so unique, and I believe plays a big part in God answering these very direct questions. Habakkuk accepts God's answers. In chapter 3, upon hearing about some very ominous things that were going to happen, Habakkuk gives us some of the most beautiful verses of praise and worship found anywhere in the Bible. Listen to Habakkuk's response to some very difficult answers from God. Habakkuk 3:17, though the fig tree should not blossom, and there be no fruit on the vines, though the yield of the olive should fail, and the fields produce no food, though the flock should be cut off from the fold, and there be no cattle in the stalls, yet I will exult in the Lord. I will rejoice in the God of my salvation. The Lord God is my strength. Number 1, you can take your questions to the Lord. Number 2, make sure you are sincere in looking for his answers. Number 3, be ready to listen and be surprised. Number 4, accept what God has to say and give him praise.